Am I the asshole for going to my daughter's graduation after my son relapsed? My M51 wife, 48, and I have two children, Jake M23 and Jess 18. Although they had the same upbringing, Jake sadly surrounding himself with the wrong people during his late teenage years and made some bad life decisions. Since he was around 17, he suffered with substance abuse issues and alcohol dependency. He's been through counseling on more than one occasion, and I've lost count of the amount of times that either my wife or I have had to make personal sacrifices to go and tend to him. He's currently living in a recovery housing program where we hoped he would see improvements. This has caused understandable issues for Jess. I've missed hockey games and choir performances because I had to go tend to Jake, as has my wife. We try and make it up to her at the time, but I don't think missing important milestones really makes up for it. It's heartbreaking for me, personally. Jake has been doing better lately, and he hasn't had any relapses or issues for the past few months. Jess' graduation was the other day, and my wife and I had tickets and couldn't wait. She's off to college, graduating with a great GPA, and we're really proud of her. However, only a couple of hours before the graduation, we received a call from the staff at Jake's housing program, who said that he had a relapse incident and was in a really bad way. My wife was hysterical and immediately started telling me we had to go there and help. I refused. I said that we'd missed enough events in Jess' life, and I wasn't missing her graduation. Although my wife told me how sad she was to miss it, Jake's health and well-being would take priority. I wasn't changing my stance. She got increasingly agitated and said she'd go herself, called a cab, and went. I took the car and watched Jess' graduation. It was one of the proudest days of my life, but when I saw Jess at the end, I could tell she was visibly upset that her mom wasn't there. I explained, and you could tell her frustration. My wife made it to our celebratory dinner later, and she apologized, but the mood was sour. The incident with Jake was serious, but not a life-threatening emergency, and he has been admitted into treatment. My wife gave me the cold shoulder later, saying how we should have been on the same page, been there for support, and that I'd been selfish. I disagreed, saying she'd been selfish in this scenario, and she tainted Jess' moment. This went on for a while, and I ended up sleeping on the couch. I still feel I made the right decision, but I know I hurt my wife, and Jake's recovery is obviously of paramount importance as well. Am I the asshole? No. Not the asshole. Your daughter's high school graduation only happens once. There will be plenty of other opportunities to show your son support. I am a bit confused as to why your wife felt you both needed to see your son urgently. He was at a recovery house and presumably being watched. Why did you two need to be there immediately instead of the next day? Not the asshole. While I am sympathetic to all four of you in your respective positions, I think your wife insisting you both should have gone to your son is terribly unfair to your daughter, and if neither of you had been there, she sounds like she would have been devastated. At least she, your son, at least had a parent there. It could be argued your son could have waited if he was with medical staff, tbh. Your wife is a little out of line, Imo. My sister used to have episodes before that celebrated me. In her mind, my successes exposed her failures. I absolutely blamed my mom for enabling this. Not the asshole. No one was supposed to go running just because he relapsed. He also knew it was his sibling's graduation. Relapsing doesn't require even a visit when he's already in a program. You say, okay, thanks for letting us know, and go about your life. What was the purpose of dropping everything and running there? What did that accomplish other than giving him more reasons to continue to relapse for attention? That's not support. Support is showing up for therapy or hospitals. No, us working through stuff. Sounds like your wife is an enabler. Not the asshole, and I'm wondering if there's a correlation between your son's relapses and emergencies and your daughter's special events. Not the asshole. Have you considered that missing graduation might have been Jess's done moment? Entirely possible that you choosing her for once saved your relationship with her. How would you have felt if you had gone with your wife and come home to find that Jess moved out and cut off contact with all of you. You and especially your wife both need to realize that you're very much in danger of Jess going and sea with you if you don't start prioritizing her. Frankly, you should have always been having one of you be there for Jess and the other with Jake, so you are the for that. Not the asshole. However, only a couple of hours before the graduation, we received a call from the staff at Jake's housing program, who said that he had a relapse incident and was in a really bad way. That's what the staff at a place like that is there for. My wife was hysterical and immediately started telling me we had to go there and help. There is not dick we can do to help. Not the asshole. How many times has Jake relapsed around the time something important for Jess was happening? Not the asshole. Jake sounds manipulative with the timing, and your wife fell for it. The more she panders him, the less likely he will be to recover. When parents allow one kid to manipulate them into forgetting about not prioritizing the high-functioning kids, it is a complete shame. Your wife also sucks for ruining your daughter's graduation dinner. Not the asshole. You can't always prioritize a non-critical problem over a celebration. Jess deserved your presence and your attention, and I'm glad you were able to give her that. I might have voted nah. Here I can't blame your wife for being worried about Jake, but her behavior since the incident suggests that she's lost touch with the fact that the entire family needs love. Not just Jake, and that not every single crisis in a recovery journey can receive equal, all-encompassing attention without obliterating the emotional needs of everybody in Jake's orbit. Not the asshole. Your wife was the one who was selfish, and it's clear this isn't the first time Jake has been favored over your daughter. Maybe if you all didn't drop everything for him all the time in non-emergency situations, he would have learned to rely on himself a little more. Who knows? At least your daughter would have learned that you value her too. Poor Jessie, always gonna be second fiddle to her brother. If he relapses on her wedding day, is your wife then not gonna show up? If she's giving birth and for some weird reason choose your wife after all the time she let her down, would your wife then leave to hold Jack's hand for the 100th time? Jack was with professionals. There was absolutely no reason to show up and once again miss an important milestone of Jessie. One day that girl is gonna have enough and cut everyone off, and I wouldn't blame her one bit. Not the asshole has family who's addicts. Edit apparently can't spell LMAO,